More COVID cases, more COVID cases, more COVID cases. That's the narrative we hear in our mainstream media and the message from our governments every day in cities all around the world, especially London. And they use these cases to slowly take away our civil liberties. They use these cases to decimate our businesses, shut down our cities, put in curfews, and ruin our economy. Now, my question is, where's the danger? Because I can't find it. And I ran the numbers. Public Health England gave the numbers out last week. Thank you. 5,000 was the total number of cases in one day, an all-time record for England. But when you dig deep into the numbers, what do you find? Only 266 people are hospitalized for what are called COVID symptoms, which could mean a myriad of things. Only 13 people died on that same day from COVID-19. Now, all that means is that you tested positive for COVID in the last 28 days. You could have died from anything, including being hit by a truck. So those numbers are probably inflated. 13 deaths. Is this danger? Now, any death is a travesty, but is this danger? I don't think so, because on that same day, 213 people died from smoking-related illnesses. That's 10 times, over 10 times that. And yet I don't see them locking us down from our tobacco supplies. If they really, really were concerned about human life, then they would do that. But they're not. And this is the problem with this narrative. We suffer from a massive lack of leadership, from a complete disproportionate response to this virus, and a total lack of science-based decision-making. I feel bad for our government because they're stuck in the same narrative that they created months ago that was always based on flawed data. And if they change it now, they look stupid, they don't get reelected. And meanwhile, you and I suffer every single day. And I'm watching the backbone of this great city of London that I love so much go down the tubes, and I'm sick and tired of it. I got entrepreneurs that email every day that say, Brian, please keep speaking about this. My business is dying. The 10 p.m. curfew is not based in science. Professor Graham Medley on the SAGE committee that advises the Prime Minister said the 10 p.m. curfew was never discussed with the scientists. Tory backbenchers are shouting out, where is the science? They don't even buy it. And we've got, like I said, a complete lack of leadership and a mayor and a prime minister that are basically covering up from previous failed ideas and failed policies. And you and I are paying, and we're paying all around the world, because this is the same thing in mainstream media and governments. I did a vlog about this yesterday, and as far as I know, I'm one of the few people actually talking about this that has a decent presence on some of these social channels. No one else is talking about it. Why? These numbers are right in front of our faces, and yet we're being told to do 180-degree policies based on the opposite of what they say. It's time we say stop, or this is going to continue. The madness is going to continue, and we're going to be living in a dual reality. What the numbers tell us and what we know common sense tells us, and this other reality where the government tells us something opposite. They scare us. They use fear. They use peer-to-peer pressure to shame us into doing what they say because some people believe they're right. I don't see the numbers. If you show me the data, fine, I'll start behaving that way. I don't want more deaths, but there is no data because there's a lack of science and, like I said, a completely disproportionate response. So leave your comments below. Tell me if I'm getting something wrong. Again, let's get this message out to our governments that, look, we forgive you. If you can just come clean today and say, guess what, we messed up. Let's start a new narrative today based on the numbers. I'm good with that. Let's do that. Let's get London back to work. Let's get our kids back in school. Let's get our transport network back. Let's get our theaters back. Let's get our culture back. Let's get workers back in our offices, which are still at 13% capacity, which is a joke. This city is dying. The small and medium-sized businesses are dying. Entrepreneurs are dying. Culture is dying. And I'm not going to sit by and watch it happen. I'm just not. I'm not going to sit idly by and let this thing go down the tubes because of a few people have got this wrong. So let's speak up. Leave me your comments below. Thank you so much for the support. I got to talk about this stuff. I got no other choice.